Hey guys, thank you for coming to our podcast. This is our 7th podcast, Expand to the Cloud Brokerage. Today, I'm really excited about Michael Arrick being on. I mean, he's an amazing individual, a leader. He's been in the business for more than 12 years. He has his license in Florida, New York. He was the #1 agent with Purplebrick in New York, Connecticut, New Jersey. Last year, he sold 28 homes. And on top of that, listed 48 homes. And he's a single agent doing all this. We're going to hear his story, why he, really jumped onto eXp, what he's looking in the future, and what really propelled him to make this move and know what's happening in the brokerage world and why he's a leader. And on top of that, I think one of the most important things, he just opened up the Dutchess County Mid-MLS, a great leader in that, and he's going to be pushing forward where he's already recruited or onboarding about 2-3 people. And again, it's brand new. So a lot of people always get scared. Oh my God, we don't hear about eXp. What is eXp? A leader like this made the first move. He's jumping on. Thank you for being on. Also, you know about David Upchurch, $60 million, right, David? More than 150 transaction. Still killing it.
180, baby. 180.
Still killing it. This year, with the blessing of eXp, I've been expanding to 16 agents and open up Dutchess, open up New Jersey, open up Connecticut. And we have, we're going to be hitting 150 deals this year and going to 60 million. So thank you, Michael, for being on today, taking the time out. I know you're a busy guy. What's your story? What's your story? What happened? I mean, you left Purplebrick. You were doing really good as a single agent. And, you're in eXp now. So tell us your story.
Well, I want to thank you for taking time to actually, hear my story. It means a lot to me. And what it all comes down to is that I moved back from Florida, and I had no business here. I had nothing going on. So I tried to interview with all the different agents that were here, and they all came to me and said, Mike, we can only pay you a certain amount. And I said, I sold houses. I sold at least 40 houses at that time. And, I said, I know what I got to do. You don't need to train me. But we don't have a book of business, Mike. I can't give you what you want. So Purplebrick had an ad in the paper. I applied to the ad. I flew out to California. I got trained by Purplebrick. It's a new way of selling real estate. It's not the traditional way. And I mastered that. I went through, it's very not easy. It wasn't easy training. I'm going to say that. And then I landed the plane on April 13th. And I went on a total of my first couple appointments, and it wasn't going good. I was like, oh boy, I'm not going to make it here. Like this is definitely going to be tough, And then what happened was I started to catch on. I started to practice. I started to really get good at it. And to the point that I mastered it. I actually told them to shut the commercial down, take me off the website. I got too many listings. I was getting the listings, but I wasn't selling them. Yeah. So my reputation's on the line. I care about my clients, my little area here in Dutchess County, New York. So I had to take my own horn and say, okay, you know what? These people are looking in my eyes and telling me that they want to sell their house. And I had to be, authentic with them and say, okay, you know what? I can't handle this. I just can't handle it. So I called up my manager. I said, Rob, I need some help. I can't do this. I'm building you a team. I'm going to build you a team. I'm going to build you a team. The team never developed, and it just never developed. So I just told them, look, I'm going to retire from this company. I'm just going to sell what I got. So I started in September. I retired. I resigned from them in September. And then from there, I sold all the houses. And what happened was, eXp came into my life because I knew about eXp down in Florida. I saw some heavy duty head turners down in Jupiter, Florida, joined the office down there. And I remember when the Glenn Stanford came into town and was talking, and I was going to go to the meeting. And the guy said, I'm not going to mention his name, but he came to me and said, Mike, you can't come to this meeting. You're with Keller Williams right now. You're not allowed to come. I'm sorry. I can't recruit you. I made a commitment to the broker that you're off hands. So, and I started talking to some other people, and, 2-3 years later, an agent came to me and showed one of my houses. One of your agents came and showed one of my houses, and I saw the eXp, and I said, what is the deal here? Why is eXp in Orange County? I never heard that before. And she goes, yeah, I live in Yonkers. I'm moving up to Orange County. I'm helping build. And I said, why isn't eXp in Dutchess County? And she says, we don't have anybody to do that. I said, you're talking to him. I want to talk to the man who can help me out. And from there, we exploded, and here we are today. So thank you, Rummy.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the leadership right there, right? A lot of people are scared right now and understanding, and we do scripts and we talk a lot about this. That's a leadership that, Michael's bringing. That's a leadership even Anne-Marie is bringing, moving forward with that. And that's really, really important because a lot of the leaders are coming into eXp. And this is a prime example of Michael, knowing that he was secure at one place, really secure, and now taking, I'm not going to say a risk because I think it's still a plus, but hey, listen, I'm going to learn this system, I'm going to get better at it, and I'm going to have a future in this. What made you really look at this and say, hey, this is something that I want to go ahead and move forward with? I interview a lot of agents, right? Agents are being interviewed. They go to different brokerages, but you just said, let's go. What was that really took you to the next level and said, this is it? This is it. And you're a seasoned agent for more than 12 years, so you know your way around.
I believe in leverage. I believe in making money while you're sleeping. I believe in helping other people, but also getting paid for it. And I believe in that someday I'm going to retire. Someday I'm going to be out of real estate. And someday I want to have some income coming out of that. Also, I saw first mover's advantage in Dutchess County. I was the first mover. I was the only Purplebrick in Dutchess County in Dutchess, Ulster, and Orange County for almost a year. Okay, by myself. So people are like, oh, I seen a sign Purplebrick. No, I'm the only Purplebrick. The only one, and me. Okay, so now there's other agents here and all that. But, so I saw how I could make money and leverage and help people. And also the cap at 16, where like down in Keller Williams is 28,000 down in Jupiter. I know, in in the New York area, it's like 22, 23. Yeah. So, also too, shares and the company bringing in 3,000 agents a month, 16,000 up to 16,000. And then the last and the most is the leadership that I got in David, the leadership that I got in Rummy, the leadership that I got in Rich, the people that sat down with me and showed me, people only buy one thing. They buy vision, and I'm buying vision with you guys. And I see I'm going to the top with you guys. So that's why I signed up. And I did talk to some other eXp guys that were in the company that I knew, and I made a decision because you're close, you have a team, your passion's there, and I'm ready to go.
Awesome. One of the main thing that I noticed that when we connected, and you said that's really, hey, listen, the leadership, right, is how we could kind of expand together, because we could take the experiences that I have with David or Rich or Keely, our organization, as well as your experience and how we can make it better. Right away, we got into, hey, how do we make it expandable for the team to expand and also eXp expand? So anybody that joins have the leadership there too as well. And I think one of the most important thing with eXp is that collaboration with all of us. It's not one agent doing everything themselves where, you join a company, hey, figure it out. But here is like, let's figure it out together. I had a conversation with David yesterday, and David was like, okay, I'm creating these, I'm doing this. And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this on the side. And you and I connected, okay, we need to do this. So it's really important about that. David?
I was on our workplace, right? Our Facebook workplace for all of eXp agents, right? We're not talking about our organization. We're not talking about the people in New York, or I'm in Charlotte, right? I'm in North Carolina. We're talking about everybody. And there was a guy on there. There was a couple people, but there was this one particular guy. His last name was Wheeler. I think his name was Kelly Wheeler. And he's just throwing out all this content for the other agents all over the country. And it's just unbelievable content. So I private messaged him and asked him a few questions. And he's like, hey, man, he said, I'm driving. Give me a call. I talked to him for 45 minutes on the phone.
Wow.
I think he's in Ohio somewhere. I'm not even really sure, to be honest with you. But I was on the phone. This guy doesn't know me. I don't know this guy. I just messaged him. He said, call me. And I was on the phone with him for 45 minutes. He gave me a bunch of nuggets. I gave him a few nuggets. And it's one of those things where the collaboration that I'm seeing and I think a lot of it has to do, because other people say, well, there's collaboration in my office. And I'm like, that's awesome. There should be collaboration in your office, right? I mean, I'm not saying that there's not, because there are some offices that have great collaboration.
Yeah.
The difference I'm finding with eXp is we're almost passionate about collaboration, because if this Wheeler guy in Ohio is successful, the company that I have ownership in is going to be successful.
Yeah.
When you're at other brokerages and they're franchisees and franchise owners, I mean, I'm sure, a guy that owns a Papa John's in Indiana doesn't really care that much if Papa John's in Ohio is successful.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, right? I know in the real estate world, they don't care. I know they don't care in the real estate world because I've been in those large brokerages.
Yeah.
But here, the collaboration outside of our states and our organization, because I feel like we're one big, huge family.
Yeah.
And again, not everybody's going to spend 45 minutes on the phone with you, right? This guy's an exceptional human being, right? But I see that a lot.
No, it is happening.
Where people are sharing. It's happening I have never yet called somebody, so I was part of the iConversation about a month ago, where I was up on stage in eXp World. There was like almost 150 people in the audience. They were asking questions. I literally told everybody in that, I said, guys, take down my cell phone number. Here's my cell phone number. Here's my email address. I prefer you to text me, because I get a lot of spam calls, people trying to sell me stuff, right? So text me first, but I'm an open book. I had about 7 people reach out to me. I'm an open book to those guys. I don't know who they are. I was glad to help them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's one thing that I don't want to say I didn't expect it, right? I did, but it's a lot more powerful than I ever thought it was going to be.
It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger and bigger.
And better and better and better. And like Mike said, I mean, he's a leader, right? I mean, it's one of those things where you've got, and the guy that got him to first take notice down in Jupiter, Florida, sounded like, to me, was a leader, right? He was somebody, and I don't know that, Mike, for sure, but it sounds like if he was willing to take a look at eXp early on, he's probably a leader. And you've got these guys that are
jumped on board. The reason why he jumped on board is because he could sell he found out that he don't have to have a license in different states, and he can open up brokerages all over the place. And he loves Wisconsin, and he's from Wisconsin, and he loves the snow, and he loves Florida. So he has
It is literally, I mean, it is I don't even want to say it's the best expansion model out there for agents like us that are leaders and want to grow. And not everybody wants to grow. Right. Yeah. I mean, we're 1% or maybe 2% of the real estate population wants to have brokerages in other parts of this country. Right. That's a very small percentage. But for those that do, there's nothing that even compares to this.
Yeah.
Like you can't even. I mean, there's just nothing that compares to this.
Yeah.
So I can't even say it's better, because it's not even the same thing. I mean, as you can tell, man, I love it. It's the best move I ever made, man. And I've been in the business 20 years. It's just the best move I've ever made. And remember, you said in the beginning it was a risk, and then you stopped. No, it was a risk. Anybody that joins eXp, it's a risk. Anybody that joins KW, it's a risk. Anybody that goes to Remax, it's a risk.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're working at Pepsi and you move to Coke, it's a risk. If you're a doctor at one hospital and you move to another, it's a risk.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have yet to meet somebody that after 4 or 5 months of being at eXp wasn't glad that they switched.
Yeah. 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 And that's important, because also, I mean, we look at tools, right? I mean, you got to utilize the tool. I had a conversation with another agent, but I said, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? And they're like, no. I'm like, then you really didn't dissect the whole system yet, right? I mean, you got to go in. I could give you all this, but the tool is only a tool until you start utilizing it. And I think that with eXp, it gives you all that. I mean, it gives you all that. Mike and I spoke, I don't know, Mike, yesterday or before yesterday, I forgot when. Hey, Rummy, what happens to Dutchess County? What do I do? I'm going to take my experience, your experience, David, and help him grow his team.
Of course.
Mike, talk about that a little bit. I know you and I had a conversation about that.
Well, there's 775 agents that have no other income besides they sell real estate. That's it. There's not one company in Dutchess County right now that there's residual income coming in when you can build your own team of other people that you know. So I know that there's a lot of mom and pops here that I'm going to be talking to that will be able to switch over and not have to have all the overhead that they're looking for. That's number one. Number two, it's not really it's a hot market, not compared to Westchester and the Bronx and all that because of the lower price range, but it's wide open. You know what I mean? It's wide open. So
yeah, and listen, hang on real quick. So I was a mom and pop shop, right? I owned my own brokerage. I left KW in 2015, opened up my own brokerage in the middle of 2015, 16, 17, and 18. I was a mom and pop shop. And people ask me, David, why did you take your successful brokerage that you built from ground up like a little baby, like a newborn that I rocked at night and burped and changed its diapers and I grew it into something? Why would you then partner with this big franchise? And my response was, because it made my brokerage better.
Yeah.
It made my brokerage better. Listen, I can have an ego and I can have a big head and, I can do it. I don't need any help. But you know what? If I can partner with somebody to make my brokerage better, and if you're not willing to look at it and be open-minded that something that you didn't create could actually make your brokerage better.
Yeah, that's powerful.
I just was not going to let my ego get in the way.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the U.S.
Anywhere in the U.S. That's right. In Canada. I can't wait till I get somebody in Canada so I can say I'm international.
We're going to get somebody. Over there. And that's the beauty about it, right? It is about the ego. Our organization, we opened up 3 offices, a couple of MLSs too as well. Taking down my sign right now, literally we're getting new signs, taking down my sign and taking down, and putting, because we are the branch office here, taking that down, like, wow, I built that for 4 years. Now I got to take that down. But guess what? I actually expanded a lot more. From 15 agents, 5 of them didn't join, 10 did, and guess what? We're up to 40 agents in 4 months. That speaks volume, right? That speaks power that's coming. And one of the things that you said, it was leadership, and I think Mike said that too as well. That's why we are talking to Mike right now. It's about leadership. Leaders will move and shake the industry, right? Why are this big mega agent now in New Jersey coming? Why is Mike coming on? Why do we come on? Is that we see that road going this way. We see that. A lot of these followers that say no to me right now, I said, we will speak after 1 year because that's what's going to happen. Something's about to come. I don't know when or what time. It is about to come. I could see it. I was speaking to one of my agents. Literally, 2 or 3 of them lost their jobs. For the buyer side. They're laying off these people, right? Excitement where right now Amazon was skyrocketing. They're moving out of New York. These are changes that you don't have control over. What do you have control over? 1, keep doing your transaction. Number 2, earning stock. Number 3, getting this, expanding your brokerage without the overhead. Having this lane that you could get off tomorrow and having that experience. And the other day when I was speaking to Mike, providing that complete knowledge of the last 20, building my real estate business for the last 10 years. And all of a sudden, Mike is going to get the full resource, right? All that knowledge that you bring to the table, David, for, you fix my, direct campaign, right? All that knowledge that you just gave to me because we're financially connected too as well. eXp pays you a percentage of the percentage that we pay out, and you're benefiting and helping my business grow without any expenses, without anything else. Guess what? You're getting compensated for that. And that's the beauty about it. And I think that a lot of people don't look over it because this powerhouse right now, tomorrow is going to be a bigger powerhouse, even a bigger powerhouse. So guess what? At last 10 years, I'm going to be able to provide that. I was speaking to an agent yesterday. He's finally thinking about making a move. And we're going to have a conversation with him next week, David, too, as well. And he said, Rummy, I need to expand, because he's seen me expand, right? He goes, how do I expand? How do I get this buyer agent going on? How do I train them? All of a sudden, I'm like, listen, I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to do it. And it's going to be flick of a second. Here you go. Here's the training. And I'm willing to do that for free.
We have a roadmap, because you know what? We drove the road, and listen, we looked at people that were ahead of us.
Yeah.
I mean, I could name 10 agents right now that are not even in North Carolina that has absolutely influenced and helped me grow my business over the last 10 or 12 years. Yeah. Right. And some of them, most of them were just people that I knew, right? Realtors that I met at conferences and things like that. Right. So, you know, like I said, 95% of the people that have joined eXp, left their brokerages and joined eXp through my organization, 95% of them just want to sell houses. Yeah. That's what they want to do. They want to learn how to sell more houses, right? And that's what I tell them. That's my job. My job is to teach you and motivate you. Maybe not motivate them, because I always say if somebody has to motivate you, you got to motivate yourself.
You keep bringing that in my head a lot.
Yeah. So, but I'm here to teach you. I'm here to pour into my 20 years of experience and of the things that I've done wrong. Because listen, I've done plenty of things wrong. I've wasted a lot of money marketing in certain places, doing things wrong. I can take that knowledge that I've gained from other agents, or I've just learned from experience, and give that to them. And my job is really we as leaders, right? Mike, you in Dutchess County, part of your job is to help agents in Dutchess County learn how to become better agents and provide for their family and provide to the community and sell more houses. Now, those that want to grow and expand their business, we'll be there for them as well.
Yeah.
But 95% of our business, for me, is helping agents grow their individual brand, their individual volume, right? And not push a volume on them. I mean, I used to, when I had an agent tell me, well, David, I really don't want to be a mega producer. I only want to sell, maybe 10 houses a year. I'll be honest with you. It's like you're speaking Greek to me. That doesn't make sense. How do you not want to sell 30 homes a year? It almost frustrated me. Well, got a little bit older. I realized not everybody wants the same thing. So my job is to help that person do 10 homes a year. Yeah. Now, when they want to do 15, my job is to help them do 15. Would they ever come to me and say, you know what, I want to do 30 now? My job is to help them do 30. Yeah. As leaders, that's what we're here for. We're here to help change people's lives in doing the things that they love. And if that's expanding their brokerage, fantastic. If that's just helping them figure out how to leverage their business and still sell only 10 or 12 homes a year, but have a little extra time for family, because we all know if you sell 10, 12, 13 homes a year, sometimes it can be very daunting. Yeah. And there's little things that we can show them where they can either, one, expand their business, or two, continue on the same business that they're doing now, but get back some family time. Yeah. That's how I look at my role, or our role, because we're leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike, what about you? What do you see in the future? I mean, like I said, you've been in the business for 12 years. You with Keller Williams, right? And Purplebrick. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've been with a lot of, I'm gonna put it out there. I've been with Keller Williams, Century 21, Weichert. I started in Weichert, did the whole Weichert training. I was a Weichert lead network specialist with them. So I helped other offices actually build their network and, new agents and stuff. So, they're all great offices. They all got great models. There's no residual income. That's the thing I don't like. There's no, and also too, eXp took it to another level with the virtual stuff. So now, with the world and being trained by people that have no, I would never interact with them throughout the world, right? Throughout the country or whatever, right? We're sitting in the same room and I could see their name. I could see where they're from, and I could, and I could talk to them. I could, reach out to them, call them, whatever. And to me here, I'm in the training with an office we're all going for the same listings. We're all going for the same buyers, and they're keeping their tools in the toolbox. Over here, the toolbox are flying. The tools are flying out, and they're helping everybody. You know what I mean? I just couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, I'm sitting with people, 300 people on a Sunday night with Jonathan and teach you. I mean, and I just watched the basics because I want to see what they're going to teach the new people. And it was just mind blowing. They went from the mind and went down. And I was just like, not one office is teaching that. Yeah. They're teaching how to make chicken noodle soup, or bring in calendars and You know, a lot of agents like that commodity. They like to feel like they're wanted and all that, you know, so.
The world is getting smaller. The brokerage world is getting really, really small now, as a sense of we're expanding and now we're just keep moving forward as, you know, the one brokerage. Obviously, I mean, a lot of people don't understand this, and I think I was talking to some other agent. You know, it's one brokerage, and Mike, you just said the same thing yesterday. And being under one brokerage, you don't have that many expenses. You don't have 10 different caps. You could do business in any location. And the collaboration is key. You know, before, if I was reaching out to any of my other agent, my peers, I used to be like, does this guy have time? I mean, even though we're friends, they'll take some time out. But at the end of the day, it was almost as though, hey, you know what? Are they going to have some time? Now I don't feel bad. I'm like, David, get on the phone.
Yeah.
David, get on the phone. And he's like, damn it, you call me more than my wife.
Yeah, exactly.
But hey, Mike, I got a question for you. So I know your last place you were at was Purplebrick. So, you know, that's kind of a new business model. What attracted you to that? And then why'd you switch? I mean, why aren't you still there?
All right. So, you know, when I moved back from Florida, I had no business here. Okay. So something happened in my life very drastically. I had to make a change. So I left the person behind and went back to New York. I have a house here. I got friends here. I started here. And when I came back, I was rebuilding and I had no business whatsoever. So I went out. I saw that I could make business tomorrow. I can make a name for myself. I always like to be in front. I thought that Purplebricks had what it takes. When I came out of training, I thought that I was amazed by the website. I was amazed at the leadership. I was amazed, you know, it's the honeymoon stage, you know. And then I went out and I started to realize how it was happening. And I was pushed against the wall and it just got uglier and uglier. And I just said, you know what? I can't live life like this. I didn't sign up to be, I don't want to die with a lockbox in my hand. And I felt like I was going to have like a heart attack. You know what I mean? It was crazy. Like at one time there was 48 listings. I had no team, no assistant, and I had to keep everybody happy. And I put everybody on an hour call a week to call them and say, my sellers especially, say, hey, we'll talk for an hour because we're in business together to sell your house, tell you what's going on, all that. I was talking to 48 people a week. I mean, it was crazy, you know, and there was no help. No help whatsoever. The next thing is that I saw that I could make $1,000 and list the house as soon as I list the house. As soon as the paperwork gets handed in and goes into SkySlope, I make $1,000. So I had an average of 10 listings a month. I was making $10,000 a month. Okay. I not my family, not my friends, nobody, just somebody from a commercial. So I thought that was going to work out. The problem occurred is when I realized no agents are coming on board. So I said, okay, let me interview what's going on. Let me reverse psychology this. So I went ahead and I interviewed HomeSmart. I interviewed eXp. I interviewed the top broker in the area. You know, I interviewed them all and said, okay, these are why the agents are going there. There's value there. They see value. Where we couldn't even get one agent. I said one agent, you know, and then I saw that they were building New York City. That owners of the company wanted New York City bad. And we all want New York City. If we could conquer New York City and conquer LA, you could conquer the United States, right? So I can understand that. But what happened was I created, you know, and it's not just, it was Purplebricks and it was also me, because these people just didn't sign up with Purplebricks. They signed up with me too. So my reputation's on the line. So what happened was there was no support up here. My manager was only here twice out of the whole year. And he told me, oh, I'll be there. I'll help you. So I just didn't have the support. I had no support. I'm not, you know, I'm 50 now. I'm looking at life a lot different than I used to look at it when I was 25. I want to spend time with my friends. I want to be able to do some things. You know, I went to a convention for something else that I do in Cleveland, Ohio. And he's like, you need to do this. You need to do that. And I was like, look, you know what? I'm going to do it all when I get back. And I'm going to resign too, because you're not pushing me around like that. So, you know, now they changed their model. They're doing some other things now. And it's, I'm glad I got out, because like I told my mother, Mom, I got to get out of this. I got to get out the right way, because I got people that respect me and I got a reputation that's here, but I also got to make sure that I protect my name, and I got to get my name off of Purplebricks as quickly as possible. Yeah. And that's what I did.
And what made that decision? Like, I know you said a couple of times, but you come from this and then now you're over here.
I didn't. There was no residual income. There was a recruiter position that was opened up that was like $100,000 position, and I wanted that position.
Wow.
And this is what they told me: you can't take that position because you're the top guy in the company. So what are we going to do? Go out and replace you? Well, that's not how it works. You always, hire within before you go out. And they brought somebody in that I didn't approve of, and I was like, you know what? That was another decision. And I just saw how they were really focused on New York City. Like I was in meetings talking about the Bronx and talking about Westchester and Staten Island and Brooklyn. I honestly, it's the wild West down there. I just said, you know what? I don't care about New York City. I care about my area. Why don't you come up? And then I probably brought 15 people to the table. And what I saw was they were looking at me. They were looking at how stressed I was. They were looking at that. I don't want this. This guy's stressed out. So they're like, so I told my manager, what we got to do is you got to do the recruiting because they can't see me because I'm trying to sell houses too. And I'm trying to recruit and they just don't, and I come with a lot of energy. I get it. And then the biggest thing is that, I saw the vision that you had, Rummy. I saw what you wanted to do with me in Dutchess County. And I can't do it in Jupiter, Florida. I can't do it in Charlotte. I can't do it in New Jersey. I can't do it in Westchester. I can do it in Dutchess County.
Yeah, and we're doing it. And just to talk numbers, only 25% of the agents ever make more than $100,000. Not 75% don't make that. And guess what? He left that position and came on. And that's really, really kudos to you, man. I mean, we're happy that you're on board. And I think it's exciting. And that's what we're doing. Our organization and what we're doing right with eXp right now is helping each agent grow. I mean, what we got, we have the CRM in the back end, the SkySlope in the back end, the training in the back end. We got, 300 people, David, I think, working on your behalf. The new agent I just made, we went into the eXp world. They got all the questions answered. I have an accounting person. Yesterday, there was a quick mix-up between my company and one of my other agents' company, and they gave us 1099. Guess what? We went to the accounting department, and they fixed all that. We think, hey, Rummy, that's you, and they fixed it. Who has that, right? I mean, there's another company that, Keller Williams, I was trying to fix, pay their dues each year because I recruited some people. It's like teeth and nails just to get a hold of them. I'm like, you know what? Just send them the check. Forget about it. I was not trying to pay by credit card, but here's what it is. It allows you to be focusing on what is actually doing more production, giving you the tools in the back end, having people like us and other people who are jumping on board, seeing the future, and making that happen. Mike, from your own words, what do you see the future in eXp? I mean, where do you see it growing to? I mean, what do you visualize? I mean, I know you have a great vision. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at retiring and making money when I'm done selling real estate, a check coming in. When I pull the plug on real estate and I'm sitting somewhere in Florida, I don't know where, somewhere where the warmer climate, or maybe North Carolina. I just looked at the charts today. Most of the people are going North Carolina, South Carolina on keeping current matters. Cahoots to you, Dave.
It's 61 degrees today.
Yeah.
I just found out the other day that they're shutting down an elementary school. They're not even using the top floor because the kids aren't there no more. So what I realized is that they're leaving. They're migrating. They're selling. So it's good.
A lot of people leave New York. And that's the point of what you just said, right? Because a lot of people don't have an exit plan. They don't have an exit plan in real estate. They don't have it. And maybe other
because it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't exist. I mean, let's just face it. It doesn't exist.
The only exit plan is the broker's exit plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's so funny. It's so funny because we as agents, right? We as realtors, we tell people all the time, don't rent your house, own it, right? Don't rent a home. We tell people all the time, I do at least, you're paying a mortgage. You're just not paying your mortgage. Yeah. You're paying somebody else's mortgage. When you're a real estate agent and you work for a broker, you're not paying for your own retirement. You're paying for somebody else's retirement.
Yep.
You're helping somebody else get closer to their retirement.
Yep.
What are we doing?
And a close friend of mine said, for anybody to put somebody else's name on their back and run around town or your real estate sign with somebody else's name on it and advertise somebody else's dream doesn't make sense.
It's insane.
Yeah. Yep. That's absolutely.
What about your name? What about your life? This is a one-time shot. This is not a dress rehearsal. And we're getting older and older every day. We got younger people coming in. The technology's taking over, and Amazon and Netflix and Uber, and I got in a car and Uber down at the Cardone convention down in Miami, and I got into a car and the guy didn't even talk to me. He didn't need to talk to me because he knew where I was going. He knew he had my credit card, and he just drove. And I just said, "How you doing?" Nobody spoke English there, which is not a problem with Miami. But I'm just like, okay, this is weird. Like there's no interaction, nothing, no talking. Technology.
I actually like that sometimes.
Huh? but technology's taken over.
Yeah. And if you don't change, you're gonna go away.
Yeah.
Just ask Circuit City and Sears and Kmart. They didn't adapt. They did not adapt. And these companies that are hanging on, the Walmarts and the Best Buys, they're adapting to what Amazon brought to the table.
Yep.
They're adapting.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, I think that those companies will survive.
Yeah.
But part of the reason they survived is because they adapted a little bit. They didn't completely adapt. So maybe they will completely be out of business. I don't think so, but maybe. They at least adapted a little bit. Yeah. And in our world, the brokerages can't adapt because they're all individual franchise owners. They just can't adapt.
And they got a lot of fees.
They have all these they have to charge these high fees to these agents. They've got to take a bigger piece of the agent's pie in order to pay their overhead. And that's one of those huge things I tell people too is, listen, stop giving your money to your broker. Only give the money to your broker if you can literally feel like at the end of the year, you got more value or the same amount of value for the money that you spent. I met with an agent the other day. I did the math and I'm okay, what's your split? Your split's 80-20. She's like, yeah, that's okay, dude. I did the math. What was your volume last year? I gave her a volume. I showed her the calculator. It was $47,000 that she paid to her brokerage. And I said to her, if you can convince me what you got for $47,000, I swear to you, I will never speak the word eXp to you again. And you know what she said to me? She spent about 30 seconds trying to justify it. And then she goes, David, I can't. I don't know what I got for it.
Yeah.
And I said, if you can't explain it to me, then you need to really consider whether you're in the right spot or not.
So can I ask you guys a question? A question, because this is what happened to me yesterday. Why are new agents so attracted to this, and seasoned agents are like, what are you saying?
I think I know the answer.
Yeah,
we as humans don't like change. We don't like change. That's one. They're comfortable where they're at. They're a little bit afraid that if they make a change, their business is going to implode. And two, I'm 47, right? So I always say I'm right on the cusp of, I've got friends that have flip phones. And and if my buddy's watching this, you know who I'm talking about. We make fun of him all the time. And then I've got people like me that I chose to go the technology route. I chose to embrace the technology. I've got every new iPhone that comes out. I got the iPads. I got camera. I got any of it's technology. I love it, right? But I'm on that age cut. Everybody younger than this thinks that technology, it's weird. Like my kids, if you ask my kids right now what time their favorite show came on TV, they'd be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What do you mean, what time does it come on TV? I don't know. I go to Hulu and I push a button and it's on there.
Yeah.
Right? They're used to this technology. I showed my 15-year-old the world and she was like, Dad, could this be done for other businesses? Like, can this work for does this work for just real estate? Or can this be done like if I ever owned an accounting firm, could I have all my accountants working here?
Yeah. And
I was just like, she gets it. And she's 15.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to go to the office.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think the younger you are and the less you're rooted in your own world, the more they're not changing. The new agents aren't changing anything.
Yeah.
And us agents that have been in the business a long time, we don't like change. A lot of people are risk takers. I'm a huge risk taker, right? I know, Rummy, you are. Mike, sounds like you are. There's some of us that are risk takers, and we are the ones that are jumping.
Yeah.
Right? And then there are other agents that are they're the toe in the water for 3 minutes to make sure that the temperature is okay, and they're not sure if they want to jump yet. I mean, those types of things. Yeah. But I'm telling you, I have yet to have an agent that I know has joined that has not told me later. I mean, the agent that I said I kind of chased for a little while because I was sick of her paying so much money to a broker, she literally texted me last week and said, "Thanks for the push."
Yeah. Yeah. But here's some stats, right? And I got the stats up. It's 0 to 10,000. Coldwell Banker took almost 70 years to get to 10,000 agents. 70 years. Keller Williams took almost approximately 18 years. Do you know what the numbers is for eXp? 8
4 years.
8.
And realistically, 2009, 10, 11, 12, and 13.
Doubled it.
And 14, they were probably only at 2,500 agents?
Yep.
And then they created the Icon program. They started creating the stock reward program. Boom, it took off.
It took off. And they're getting better. I mean, that's the crazy part about it, right? They're getting better. I mean, think about a company that, the other day I heard, Keller Williams just going to get the ghost agent. You heard about the news? 40,000 agents let go. What are we doing? You don't have a mentor. You're not doing 2 deals per year. You're going to start paying me more fees. Guess what? They want production. They want agents that are producing. We don't want no ghost agent. We don't want to just sit there and recruit. And I love that because being in the industry for 20 years, we know that a lot of these agents are not producing. We know only 10% is doing something. And that's the beauty about eXp that we're going to, I think in the future, we're just going to be the most production, the most agent count, the most revenue share, the most.
So listen, I joined about 7 months ago, 7 or 8 months ago, somewhere in that ballpark. And a buddy of mine in Indiana joined with me. Okay. And he brought somebody on board shortly after that. Okay. And that person has yet to sell a house. And they got basically put on probation from eXp. Saying, listen, if you don't sell a house within the next 6 months, we're going to release you from the company.
Yep.
Perfect.
I do not know of another company that would do that.
Yep.
I don't. And I'm not saying they're not out there. And I'm talking about major players. I'm not talking about your mom and pop shops. I'm talking about your major players.
Yep.
They're going to literally tell this agent, we appreciate the $50 a month that you're paying us, but we don't want it because you're not a producing agent. There's a little bit of, because Charlotte eXp is exploded, right? I mean, we're one of the fastest growing. We have more agents joining in North Carolina than anywhere in the state, or anywhere in any other state. I think California is maybe number 1 and we're number 2 as far as growth as a state. And I just completely lost my train of thought.
That's the beauty about it. But you were talking about agents not excluding like eXp.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there's a lot of buzz around the Charlotte market that eXp is recruiting non-producing agents. That all you do is recruit. You don't even sell houses.
Yeah.
We're the only company that will tell you that if you don't sell a house in 6 months, you're on probation, and if you don't sell one in the next 6 months, we're literally going to release you from the company.
Yeah.
How can somebody at a XYZ Real Estate big brand box, right, say that about eXp when they have ghost agents?
Yep.
Just to pad their numbers.
I mean, I had it when I had it. I had 15 agents. 5 of them didn't do nothing. Guess what I did to them this month? See you later.
Out the door.
At the door. Because guess what? It's a new mentality, new business. We want producing agent. And think about new agents that are coming on, accountability, mentorship. Like, I'm really taking it to a whole different level. I know, David, you and I are, and Mike, when you're creating your team, you're going to take it to a whole different level. I want every agent that comes to the company produce, right? It is my responsibility.
It's absolutely our responsibility. I completely agree.
How many people in the organization is going to have that responsibility? Is that broker really going to say to you, hey, listen, come on, let's keep doing this? And are they going to be sitting down on a weekly base or monthly base or calling you up? We have the responsibility. And we're not even, we're not the broker, but we are partners. And that's what I think differentiates us from anybody else out there within eXp. Like, we have accountability, we have ownership, and we're responsible. So, and if an agent doesn't do it, and you said it, David, here, I'm not going to motivate you, but I'm going to give you the right too. I mean, Mike,
that's right. I'm here for you, and Mike kind of alluded to that a minute ago. He said, listen, everybody has talked to somebody at eXp. It's now, we're big enough now to where pretty much you can't ask somebody that's in the real estate world, have you heard of eXp? And they say no. Almost everybody's heard of it, right? You might be able to go to some small town in Iowa, but you know what I mean, right? And Mike did pretty much what I did, right? It sounded like to me, he kind of interviewed a couple of people that were in eXp and went with the person that felt like was going to be there with him, which was you and me, you specifically, because you're the one that brought him in. We're going to be there for him. He felt, and Mike, I don't want to put words in your mouth, so you stop me whenever you want. But my assumption is you chose Rummy because you knew he was passionate about it and you knew that he was going to be there to help you more so than maybe somebody else that you would talk to. And that's why I tell people all the time, your sponsor that you choose, because you get to choose your sponsor. You choose your sponsor. Your sponsor is not handed to you. You choose your sponsor. It needs to be somebody that is going to be there and help you and push you to achieve the goals that you individually want to achieve.
I'll tweak that a little bit. It was just Anne-Marie, he brought him in, brought Mike in. But guess what? Mike chose the organization, which is us, making sure to step it up because he knew, I have another individual, top sales person who just joined the pharmaceutical company, same exact experience, right? She said, Rummy, what if I just not the best person to be the leader? I said, we're here.
That's right. Anne-Marie, right? I didn't even realize that, right? So Anne-Marie brought Mike to the table, and Anne-Marie, I don't know her. She might not be that person, but he automatically gets you and me.
Yeah.
And Rich and Keely. I mean, I guarantee if you needed something and Keely was around, she'd help you. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
Because she
you got cut off.
tied to you. She has a vested interest in helping you.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm on my phone, so I'm probably cutting out.
All right, guys. I mean, we're near at the end. Mike, this is your last, you're sitting here. How do somebody contact you? How did somebody get in connect with you and talk to you about eXp in Dutchess County, wherever this is going to go? Number one, obviously, we're going to have all the links below, guys, from YouTube to Facebook. Everything's going to be below here. And number three is, your last words, like here at the podcast, and what you want to tell everybody that's out there listening to this right now.
So what was the first question?
How's somebody get in contact with you?
Somebody gets contact me. So my number is 845-656-4235. My email is Mike, M-I-K-E, sold, S-O-L-D, Arrick, A-R-R-I-C-K, @gmail.com. I'm like the casino. You can call me at any time. I'm open all the time. I love to help people. I love to help people grow. I like to see people's passions. I was new in real estate at one time, and I know how they feel. You know what I mean? I'm talking to new guys, I'm also talking to the older people too that, don't see a retirement, don't see an exit plan. I'm willing to sit down with them and talk to them and get to know them. It's whatever we got to do. It's about you. It's not about me. You know what I mean? So I take eXp very seriously. I saw it being grown. I remember when it was 25 agents and now it's 16,000 agents. And, I see the brick and mortar is going to click and order. And I see my black bag turning into, the landscaping bills, the staffing bills, the roof bills, you know what I mean? Like all the bills that the traditional realtors have to have and pay for. I have that in my black bag. I can take it anywhere. I can work at a Panera Bread. I plan on building an office here, taking an office, a small office. a satellite office once we get some agents on board. I plan on having 25 agents within the next 3 months in this area and growing from there, at least 50 by September. I'm going to be doing lunch and learns in Fishkill, New York. I got Rummy in my back pocket. I got David Upchurch in my back pocket. I'm ready to go. I'm not leaving any prisoners behind, you know?
Well, I mean, thank you for your leadership. First of all, it takes a great leader to open up the, Dutchess and move forward with it. And already, I know you already got 2-3 people that you're talking to. And I know David is, and I know I am. I'm blessed to have you on the team, and I think we're gonna do something great. And Dutchess County is open, guys. Mid-Hudson is open. Come on, talk to Michael anytime. You got his number. You have all his information. David, you good?
I'm good, my man.
All right, guys. Good. Next podcast. Stay tuned. Have an amazing day. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Advised that the topics and contents discussed in this podcast are opinions intended as general information based on personal accounts and experiences by the host Rummy Dhanoa and his guests. We recommend that listeners seek professional advice or research before making a business decision. This podcast is produced separately and independently from eXp Realty and is not sponsored or funded by eXp Realty.